Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to another season 2 of the Roddcar Truck Series, right here on LSRTV and iRacing Live. I'm Andy Kessler. Joining me tonight in the booth will be Josh Ball, and getting that picture to you on the screen will be the wonderful Cisco Scaramuza. And Josh, we're here finally, a season 2. Josh Hanner coming off a big championship last season in the trucks. Gotta say, the field's pretty stacked here tonight. It's all at zeros for everybody now. Get to start right back over and get it done again. I'm excited for it, and what a better place to kick it off than right here at Daytona in the lights.
Yeah, definitely, Andy. And, tonight we got 38 trucks lining out the field, 60 laps on the grid for this evening. I don't think anybody's going to be Mr. Conservative like last year's Josh Hanner tonight. Josh Hanner was able to come away with that championship, riding the conservative train with one win last season. But tonight, I think it's all about going for the win. You're not really points racing this early in the season, so I expect a lot of good racing pretty early and often.
Yeah, we're going to see some 2-wide, maybe even some 3-wide action here at Daytona tonight. And with the lights out, or lights on, I should say, and the sun's out, and you definitely say that there's a lot more grip, a lot more racy of a racetrack for these guys in the trucks. So we should see a lot of side-by-side racing, even that 3-wide action. Although at Daytona, 3-wide can sometimes get treacherous, especially through the tri-oval. We will wait and see for that. But first, while everyone's finishing up qualifying, we're going to send it down trackside for tonight's national anthem. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway for round number 1 of the Roddcar Truck Series, season number 2. Right here, 38 trucks came out to qualify for this race, but only 30 got to make it into the big show here tonight. So without further ado, we'll send it down. We'll take a look at tonight's LSRTV starting lineup, and on the pole, a familiar face right there, Seth the Merchant in the number 32 truck with a 50.417. He starts on the pole, and to his outside in the 51 will be Casey Malone.
On row number 2, the number 7 of Rodney Wofford. To his outside, Brandon Chaburko, winner of last season's 5 Roddcar Truck Tour.
Quite a season he had. Inside of row number 3 in that 87, that's going to be Ray Rittenauer. And to his outside in the 22, it's Stephanie Lessington.
Row number 4, Rod Flag. To his outside, Jeff Figlin.
Starting in that 9th spot in the number 1 truck, that'll be Chris Piscini. And starting 10th tonight in the 20 will be Derek Walker.
Shane McEachin and Josh Hanna round out your top 12. Josh Hanna coming back, defending series champion from season 1. Looks to start another good season in 12th.
13th inside row number 7 will be the 12 of Corey Henry. Rod Mitten in the 92 will start 14th.
Jason Ullmans starts P15 to his outside teammate James Pileski.
Greg Hooks in the 98 will roll off in that 17th spot, while Dana Osborne in the 8 truck starts 18th.
The number 2 Mike Curb Chevrolet of Donnie Garetano starts P19 to his outside Matt Bontempi. Also, 21st is going to be Matt Quick, the 89, followed by Ron Thompson starting 22nd. Frank Busiala starts 23rd. 24th, Christian Peterson, and Ryan Pilen rounding out top 25.
As the rest of the field scrolls across your screen, we get set to do battle here. 150 miles, 60 laps are going to make up tonight's event in the season opener of the Roddcar Truck Tour. It seemed like we just finished it. Well, we did. A couple weeks ago, Josh Hanner took home the championship. Everybody gets a clean slate now, Josh. It's all it all starts tonight, and obviously it's a plate track. Everybody gets a chance to win at a place like this. It's one of those tracks that it allows everyone just the opportunity to be up front and to lead laps and get the win. So it is a points race. It means something, but at the same time, it's not the end of the season if something was to happen. So it's kind of cool to watch a series start off its first race at Daytona. The pace car hits pit road, green flag in the air, and Seth the Merchant will lead the field to the green flag in that 32. I'm so used to seeing him in the 42. It's going to be interesting to see this now and make sure we don't mess these numbers up. But that top side able to get a decent start right there. That's Casey Malone in the 51. They're still side by side into turn 1.
Yeah, Casey Malone's got his teammate Brandon Traberco right behind him. Unfortunately, they only got 2 cars strong right now. That 22 is Stephanie Lessentine. Didn't really get going there good on the restart, on the start of the race. So outside's a little bit lacking right now. Seems like everybody's starting to file out behind them. Only 4 cars are going to be on the outside right now as the outside line is struggling a little bit.
It's kind of cool, too, with these trucks. They punch such a big hole in the air that it almost seems like the draft package, it's a lot easier, Josh, for these guys to stay in a pack or to even catch up, as we already see Stephanie Lessentine on that outside. As they're going 3 wide just behind her there. That's the number 20 of Derek Walker. He's out 3 wide on the outside. That's right next to, he's got the 91 to his inside, it looks like. Just amazing how quickly these trucks can just get back up and bunch right back up just like they did right there.
Yeah, if you're tuning in for the first time here on LSRTV or just tuning in for the first time on iRacing Live, the trucks and the Cup cars and the Nationwide cars all have different setups, different types of, we got a wreck going down there. We got looks like one car to the inside spinning through the infield, one car coming back up on track. Got tagged James Pileski, although wrecking. It's going to be a caution.
It all started with the 12 of Corey Henry, and it looked like Shane McEachin making contact down the back straightaway heading into turn number 3. And just a matter of, to me, what it looked like a little checkup on the top side. It looked like Ray Rittenauer got into the back of Shane McEachin, sent him to the inside. That sent the 12 down into the grass, and then mayhem just pursued right from there. So tough break for some of these guys early on, but when you come to the plate tracks, Josh, this is exactly what you're going to find.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was that 97 actually of Jason Altman's teammate to the 28 of Shane McEachin, and unfortunately, it looked like everybody just, the outside was starting to check up, and it just unfortunately caused a little bit of accident. Shane McEachin was not able to hold it down off the apron and collected James Pileski there in turn 3, and unfortunately, a little bit of crashes behind them, but. That'll bring out our first caution of the night here on lap number 2. Working lap number 3 right now. Pit stops might be coming up. Not sure how many people will actually come in. But, it'll be a good mixture up. People might come in from the front just to say, all right, well, I'm going to ride in the back for a little while. We have 60 laps on the night, so not that long of a race, but long enough to say, hey, I still got a chance if I come in now, get some more tires, just see how everybody's racing.
Yeah, and another thing too, that they don't run the full tank or full fuel load here, so fuel comes into play when you're talking about a race like this, especially in the trucks. They'll probably get about 25 laps or so to a tank of fuel when everything's all said and done. So you'll see some guys towards the mid part of this pack, towards the back, and those guys come down pit road maybe to top it off, get tires now while they can under caution, not lose a lot of time. The other good thing is, and we saw it in the season finale race with the 2016 rules package, that there is one reset for these drivers this season. So that also shakes things up a little bit for these guys. That's a little bit different than last season, so that uh, you're not afraid to maybe make that move or whatnot, but because you still have that opportunity. Or in a case like this, when you're an innocent bystander that get taken out, unintentionally, at least you still have the opportunity to get that truck fixed and get back out there.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a safety cushion, Andy. I race in the Super Speedway Series, and it helps you think a little bit. Might be a little aggressive in the beginning, but if you get wrecked, you're like, okay, I gotta make sure I save this truck car because this is your last one. You're not gonna get another one. Unfortunately, if something else happens that's out of your control, you're done for tonight. And nobody really wants to finish way in the back in the point standings, especially at the start. I talked about earlier. You want to go for the win tonight, but you also don't want to finish last because that's a very, very big hole to start in tonight. So only 30 trucks actually qualified on the field. I forgot to update that earlier. A couple of trucks went home, unfortunately unable to qualify into tonight's race. But you don't want to be those guys either. Unfortunately, you gotta you gotta come out and be able to qualify and get your truck into the race this season. We got a bigger field, a lot more audience, so everybody wants to get in. But it seems so far everybody's out there doing pretty good. We got some new names in the field. As the rookie, as we called him last season, Chris Bassini,
He's
he's
still the
still in
rookie.
here racing. Yeah, he's still the rookie, but he made it into the race just like normal. Casey Malone was here last season, but a couple of guys missed out. But good race so far. We got a little caution early there, Andy, but should be able to get some green flag here shortly.
And with the first race of the season comes also the butterflies, the jitters, this is the first race, we got to be careful kind of thing, and a mentality for a lot of these guys. So, things like that also will play into effect. In the first part of this race, and you mentioned guys that didn't make the race, some guys that you expect to be in these truck races. Jared Haggerty is one that missed. Ryan Keese was another one. I'm sure we'll see him later on tonight too. But Jose Ramirez, Ramon Evans, guys that we saw all season last season make it. So I guess it's unfortunate guys had to go home, but at the same time that just shows the strength of the field and the amount of trucks that actually showed up. That's pretty good for the league.
Yeah, the junior motorsports camp had a little bit of issues tonight. The 22 and the 10 come out of the same garage, but two of their other drivers, Keese and Haggerty, the 22, 24 and 23, come out of the other garage, and unfortunately they just had a little bit of different aerodynamic downforce this week on their trucks and didn't get them into the race. But as the pace car drops back off, we're going green flag here again as Shane McKeith, Seth the Merchant leads them down to the field, but Rodney Wofford's in front right now.
Yeah, that's definitely something we're going to have to remember. A lot of these guys change, even like Josh Hanner, the number 10 instead of the 24. So that's something we're going to have to get used to also. But a guy, a familiar face, familiar name we always see up towards the front in these super speedway races. That's the 7 of Rodney Wofford, getting it done right now on the outside lane, getting a decent push right now. Right behind him, that's Ray Rittenauer in the 87. He's getting the job done. We know Ray can get it done on the super speedways also. Lessentine still up top with Hanner also. So that top side still a decent amount of trucks up there to at least try to make something happen. We know, too, we're also running the fixed setup in the truck also. So everybody's on the same page as far as a level playing field. It's not going to play into effect too much at a race like this, more when we start getting into the mile and a halves.
Yeah, exactly. All these guys are on the even page, and 2x2 racing actually creates a lot better racing than we saw for like the last two races of this season. Actually, it was one race. There was a lot more close racing, a lot more packs together, so definitely brought a better broadcast for the audience. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to like that. It really comes down to, 3 wide, forced him down to the apron.
Wow, that was real close for the leaders. We did have one car go down into the grass. Not sure who that was. Still trying to figure out who that was. Caution does not come out. Maybe it was the 20 of Derek Walker, I believe.
Yeah, it might have been, but that was just a crazy move there. I don't know really what Casey Malone and Seth the Merchant were getting to on the backstretch, but Seth the Merchant was sideways, and he was able to save it, which that's a great save by him. Everybody was able to gather it back together, but you know, that was a good save. We're back, you know, racing right now, so everybody's 2 by 2 by 2 again. And Malone's still behind Seth the Merchant, so that should be interesting to see throughout the race.
And you know, part of that right there with Seth the Merchant sideways like he was, and I'm not discrediting any other driver, but I swear to God, anytime you see a truck like that turning sideways, pointing up towards the wall, it usually ends up in disaster, and I do not know how he hung on to that, but that was a great piece of driving right there, and the battle up front still going great. Rittenauer on the outside there took the lead just that lap right there. He was able to nose out in front of Wofford, and Stephanie Lessentine right there. She's looking for kind of a rebound season also. She came into the series last season, did really well, ran up front a bunch of races. Just it seemed like the bad luck was there week after week for her. There's a few more guys in the series also that had that bad luck curse, I would say, in the season or the inaugural season. So we'll see if they can rebound this season and maybe make it a little bit better for themselves, get some more of that racing luck, as the outside lane looks like it's going to lead this lap also. So I think that outside lane, ultimately, both in the cars, trucks, it just seems that outside lane is the place to be if you want to get the win.
Yeah, you got those 3 Junior Motorsports Toyotas on the outside there. Actually, Rod Flag is in a Chevrolet, but all those, same team right there, Junior Motorsports 22, 10, and 26, pushing Ray Rittenauer down that backstretch, getting a great run. He's going to probably take the lead back over here in turn 3. Not going to be able to get clear. It seems like it's not enough right now. Trucks could be overheating a little bit now. We've been up about 6 laps on green flag, so it's getting to the point where those engines are getting a little bit warm, Andy.
Got a little toasty, got to duck out a little bit to the side, get some air to the nose, let them cool off just a bit, then get right back up there and push. And as you can see, Lessentine backed off of Rittenauer about on that back straightaway there, and they lost the lead that lap right there to Wofford. But yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be. You see him push for maybe 2 laps straight up on that back bumper. Obviously giving a little break through the corners since we can't push in the corners. But we see the 3rd lane now start. Oh, trouble. There goes
So that's a
Merchant again, the 32, spinning through the grass. Able to keep that unbelievable car control by that guy right there. Caution's out on the speedway, but it doesn't look like too much damage right there. It looks like Casey Malone just got into his rear bumper again right there down the back straightaway off turn number 2, and that was another close call, and he almost had it saved again.
Yeah, well, there's no rule against not bumping on the straightaway, so he got into him a little bit there. 32 might have a little bit of target on his back. He is the defending iSuperspeedway champion, which you'll see later on here tonight for the iSuperspeedway shootout. But you know, if he's out there trying to be the best of the best, you know, people are not gonna be as easy on him. They know he's a champion. So unfortunately, Malone got a little bit of antsy there, pushed him a little bit too hard, got him sideways, and caution came out. But Ray Rittenauer is going to be your leader under this second caution.
Yeah, that's a couple times now we've seen Malone getting a little, really aggressive early on here and really getting on that back bumper, giving it a push. And that's what makes it so hard to race these cars. And to be fast, you got to be on them, on the car in front of you. But at the same time, that guy in front of you's got to have so much trust in you that you're not going to hook him like that or give him a real good shot. And that's exactly what happened right there. But it's just one of them things. You got to get used to those people around you. And the more and more that you race with each other, you tend to get used to each other's tendencies right there. Pit road open this time by, working lap number 12, about to complete it. And it looks like a couple of them are coming in. Top 2 guys coming in. Stephanie Lessentine will stay out this time.
Yeah, two of those junior motorsports Toyotas both stay out. Looks like Dana Osborne pitted last caution also stays out. He's going to gain a bunch of positions up to third, but looks like everybody else is coming down. It's going to be interesting. 2 or 4 tires here. You're on lap 13, working 14 under the caution. I'm not real sure. I think there's a lot of strategy. It looks like Ray Rittenauer is still going to lead everybody off pit road, but 2 and 4 tires right here is you can go either way. But Rittenauer decided to take 2 tires off the first stop. So we'll see how his truck handles throughout the rest of this next run.
It's funny to, I'm always I don't race a lot and I'm not that great at it. And that's why I'm up here doing this. But I'm always a fan when it's a caution to take your 4 tires. You might lose a little track position, but at the same time, it's a free opportunity. You're losing positions, not time. If it's a green flag stop, I'm all about taking fuel only or right sides only, or or something like that as far as strategy goes. But when you're talking under a caution, I don't know. I just feel like it's a free pit stop, in my mind.
Yeah, definitely. And these trucks are so much easier to pass. Like I was trying to say earlier before that first caution, if you're tuning in the first time, all these cars and trucks have different aero packages for this simulation, and these trucks actually have a really good super speedway package where they're able to go 2, 3 wide with no problem. So I expect to see later on in the race where 2 and 3 wide is happening all the time, but under caution, I'd definitely take 4 tires, like Andy pointed out. They're so quick here at a super speedway, especially this type of aero package that these trucks are running. You'd be able to get back up to the front right away. So definitely, I would have taken 4 tires there. We'll see how it works out for Rittenauer though with those 2, and I don't know. It might not drop back that far, but it could hurt his handling later on in the race if he's trying to make some more daring moves.
Yeah, it's one of them things as the tires wear out. I think it just, as far as me, when you get into the corners and you got cars on the outside of you and behind you and right up on you, and it tends to make the cars a little bit pushier on entry into the corner. And you'll start seeing them as the tires wear out to begin with, how they start to like weave off the corner and into the corner, and they kind of push up just a little bit until they can get them settled back down on that yellow line. So I really think it's not that big of a deal, I don't think, as far as handling wise. I mean, the speed's going to be there as long as you got somebody on your bumper and you're on somebody in front of you. I don't think the tires will make too much as far as its speed, as far as that goes, but I think the handling part of it, and that's where you can lose time to that guy in front of you, or not be able to stick exactly to their bumper, is because getting into that corner or getting off the corner, you might be a little bit. You might lose a little bit of lateral grip. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on the 87 right there. Ray Rittenauer right now currently sitting in that 6th spot right now, working lap number 14. This time by, we'll probably get the 1 to go and let the field stack up again. But just a little program reminder coming up later on tonight. We got some qualifying races, and we got a pretty nifty shootout race coming up. No points are on the line for the Cup guys, but at the same time, there's still a trophy and there's still bragging rights, as you can say. And of course, you, Josh, as being a 2-time champion of the shootout, it's still a pretty cool race.
Yeah, it's definitely it's very close to our endurance format races. If anybody's tuned in last season, if not, you'll be able to see it here soon in the next 2 weeks when we go to Daytona for the 500. It's not 500 miles, but we'll run about half of that, 250, and it's definitely a longer race. You run about 100, 125 laps depending on what's set up for each week. The night tracks may be a little bit shorter, longer. It just really depends on what league administrator Rod Flagg likes to do, but it definitely mixes it up enough that it's exciting. So I'm not sure what that 3 of Brandon Chaburko is currently doing. It looks like he's trying to start 3 wide like World of Outlaws there, but
I'm not surprised it's him, though.
Yeah, no, not at all. He's probably trying to corral some of his teammates back there to go 3 wide on the restart, but no. It looks like everybody's starting to set up back for that restart. You got Junior Motorsports there sitting on the front row. Lessentine and Hanner will bring you down once we complete these final part of the caution here. I don't think, Andy, we can make it to the end on fuel just quite yet, so probably going to at least see one more pit stop, if not another caution.
Yeah, we're definitely at least one more stop, at least on fuel-wise, to make it to the end here tonight. When we come to the green flag, we'll be hitting lap number 16. So that'll leave us with 45 laps left to go in this one here tonight. It's going to take me a little bit. My math's a little bit off. Been sick all week, but I'm here. I'm ready to go and get this underway. And Stephanie Lesting, good to see her up front right now. She'll lead the field back to the green flag as soon as that pace car ducks to pit road. And there it is. Green flag back in the air. A pretty good start by both sides, the top and the bottom. Stephanie Leslie knows she's got the help from the 8 of Osborne on the bottom.
Just like I saw it. There goes Brandenburgo to the outside, right on that number 97 of Jason Allman's to start. And it didn't take long. He's kind of left out there. That 17 moved right up and was like, nope, sorry, 3, you're not getting to the outside. And you're going to have to file on back. But as we say, 2x2 as Josh Hanna gets a decent run pushed by Matt Quick down the back stretch.
He does in the 3 wide, a little bit of 3 wide action with the 51. You got Rod Flag on the outside. That is the battle somewhere around that 13th position right now. Rod Flag able to drop back down behind Casey Malone in that 51. I'm so used to Altman's being in that 51. So a lot of car numbers have changed this season, which is kind of cool. Just something different, I guess, with the team alignment and team shifting that's been going on. And look at that right there. Josh Hanna got credit with the lap lead right there. With you're going to have to go down to the hundreds of thousands of seconds, and we just don't have that on our scoring right now. But Lessentine able to pull ahead now off of turn number 2. Not for long, though, that outside line. This is where they really pick up their momentum. Oh, it's Rittenauer. That top side checks up a little bit there. Rittenauer got a little sideways there, but everyone able to keep it straight right now. Chaburko back on the outside, though.
Yeah, Andy, I think that's been a common thing I've seen tonight. It's the outside or the inside gets a massive run behind the leader, and he just can't get going quick enough. And that's where most of our cautions have come from. Just everybody just, slamming into each other, and one person just not being able to hold on to it. Fortunately, Seth the Merchant fell to that twice, but it's just been a case of not going very fast enough on the lead car. The rule is 100%, and I'm sure they are, but that draft model just isn't working for that front truck right now.
Yeah, and you know what? I think a lot of that comes into play is you see the gap that's in between Rittenauer and the 97 of Jason Altman's right there, that gap. And what happens is they get such a suck up, I think, and that he'll get so quick up on that back bumper of Rittenauer as they go into the corner that he actually almost has to let off the throttle a little bit. And when you got a truck like the 17 of Matt Bontempi right on your bumper and you check up, that's not good news for him. And I think that's exactly why we've seen the couple cautions that we have. Things settling down a little bit right now as we work lap number 19. We're going to take a quick break right now. We'll step aside, and you're watching the Roddcar Truck Tour right here on LSRTV and iRacing Live. We're back here live at Daytona International Speedway, round number 1 of the season 2 for the Roddcar Truck Series, and we got some 3-wide action going. That top side, Josh, has been pretty active while we were got a commercial, and it's all been that number 3 really leading that way up on the high side. Now he's got a little help, though. Casey Malone trying to give him the push to make him all the way up to the front right now. There's not a lot of room up there, especially at Daytona, but a lot of guys are trying to make it work.
Yeah, there's a couple cars, Chicken Wing Motorsports, I'm pretty sure that's who it is. They're up there trying to make that their lane work, and they're gaining right now on first place, Josh Hanna. Oh, we got a big one. Here's the big one. Oh, maybe not, but looks like Dana Osborne down there spinning. We're going to have a caution. Oh, man, I thought it was going to be...
That was the 97. It looked like a Jason Altman's.
Whew.
Looked like it started with that 97 truck, though. Look, exactly what we had talked about. All just the suck up on that. You watch him just get so fast. He caught up to the 8. As soon as he touched the 8 Osborne's bumper, boom, it was done. And right there, and a couple other trucks involved with that, and came back up the racetrack. And man, but that's exactly what it is. We saw it right there, Josh. There was a gap there. And the closing rate was so quick that when he got onto that 8, it's lifting that rear end right off the racetrack is what I think.
Yeah, and it definitely clustered it up a little more. I don't know if we got the replay showing, but back on the exit of turn 2, I'm not sure if Josh Hanna meant to drift up there into the second lane away from his teammate Stefan Lesson team, but it kind of bottled up the field a tiny bit. And as soon as that happened, a little bit of net code with that number 8 truck. Otherwise, it could have been a lot bigger of a wreck. But it looked like cars involved were the 8, the 12 of Corey Henry, the 7 of Rodney Wofford, that 28. Not very good luck tonight. Shane McKeeton also involved there. His night might unfortunately be at least damaged truck. I don't think he's totally done, but fortunately he is going into the pits to get some needed repairs.
I guess we came back at the right time. Caution back on the speedway. Stephanie Lesting going to bring all the leaders down pit road. Now's their opportunity. This might be a chance where they can make it to the end from here if they can save some fuel under the caution laps. But Stephanie Lesting going to lead the field down pit road. She enters her pit box with no issues. It looks like the right side. We'll see if she takes 4 tires or not. Looks like the one of Chris Bassini does. And it does look like she will take 4 as well, but a whole slew of trucks there. Only 2 tires, so Stephanie Lesson going to be mired back in traffic when we take the green flag.
Yeah, it looks like Ray Rittenauer getting those other side tires that he did not get the last time he came down for service, and he comes out first out of all the trucks there. Actually had 2 cars that actually stayed out under that caution. Tommy Hall, that was sitting back in P28 at the time, and Rod Flagg will take over your race lead. You got 28 cars still on the lead lap after that caution. We have 1 truck off right now, still not out. Derek Walker, he is sitting 14 laps down, still getting repairs down on pit road.
Yeah, and you know that's a frustrating thing right there when first race of the season you get knocked out pretty early. He was knocked out around lap number 10-ish. He's 14 laps down currently, but we're going to see if we can pull up a driver, and let's see if Josh Ball can get a hold of somebody. Who you got on the docket there, Josh?
Let's see if we can go ahead and get that 22 of Stephanie Lessentine up here. We're going to try to see if we can get our production booth to bring her on up. Let's see if we can get her. The number 22, Stephanie Lessing, you got a copy? This is Josh in the booth.
Okay, I got you.
Hey, Stephanie, how's the truck handling out there tonight? You know, season 2 debut. Seems like you and Josh Hanna are working pretty good together there up front that last run.
Yeah, the truck feels really great. It's great to be back on the track. We've had a few weeks of downtime, and really great to be back on the truck and on the track too as well.
Yeah, you guys are looking pretty good. I know Junior Motorsports pretty much a new formation this season. You got three of your trucks out there tonight. Running pretty good. Rod Flagg's actually currently leading. You and teammate Hanner are sitting there 13th, 14th. We saw you take 4 tires on that pit stop. The couple guys in front of you have 2. Have you seen any disadvantages, advantages of that with the other guys around you so far tonight?
Honestly, I haven't had a chance to really take it all in. I didn't really get a whole lot of practice time in here. I just kind of showed up and qualified, so I don't know what the difference between the 4 and 2 is going to be. Basically, going to find out here. So I took 4, so if there's a late caution, maybe I can do the 2 tire strategy. But who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah, definitely. And welcome back to Season 2. You know, we'll definitely let you get back out there and get ready for this restart. I'm probably coming to 1 to go here, so we'll let you get ready for that. And I'll send it back to Andy. Good luck for the rest of the race there, Stephanie.
Thank you.
There you have it. Stephanie Lessentine sitting in that 13th spot currently, was just your leader, brought everybody down pit road. Like she said, though, she decided to take the 4 tires now, maybe be able to set her up for a 2-tire stop at the end if we have a late race caution to get some track position back. However, started 13th, ain't a bad restarting spot here for these guys. You know how quickly these trucks, you can move through a field if you pick the right lane. So I don't think it's going to be too much longer once we get the green flag that we will see that 22 truck back up towards the front along with her teammate in the 10, Josh Hanner. Rod Flag, though, currently your leader. Tommy Hall is second. Jason Albans, Ray Rittenauer, and Matt Quick will round out the top 5 for this restart. A guy like Rod Flag, another one of those guys that just wasn't quite in that championship hunt for the trucks last season. Had a decent season, Josh, but it just wasn't quite what it needed to be. And I know he struggled in the Cup Series too, so you know that 26 is looking to redeem himself in this season in a whole new calendar year and a brand new standings. Everything's even. I love saying that because it brings that sort of excitement back to it when you know the pressure's on. It's a whole different ball game. It's not like with 3 races to go and you're 80 points out of the lead and you have no shot and you're just out there hoping to get yourself a win or something like that. But you know, everybody's in the championship talk right now. So it's kind of a good thing, I think, to be able to restart, refresh. 13 race season, there's going to be 3 drop weeks, though. We saw that play into a little bit of a fact at the end of last season, but we'll see what happens as this season starts to unfold. Daytona is where we're at, working lap number 26 of 60 here tonight, 150 miles for these trucks in the season opener. Coming up a little bit later on, we'll have the shootout for the Cup Series. But first, the pace car will drop to pit lane. Rod Flag gets the green flag, and he's off and running. Tommy Hall on the outside, a little bit of a checkup. Jason Altman's right behind him, a little bit of a gap. That bottom side takes the advantage now as they head to 1.
Yeah, it's probably going to take that outside a little bit back to go or get going here. Probably somewhere down the backstretch. A little bit of bad jump by the outside. Is now they're 3 wide there back in the back. It's Casey Malone's way to the outside of Rodney Wofford. It just seemed like a little bit of checkup on the top, not really giving any room. As Rodney doesn't want to give Malone that room at all. He stayed in the middle, and he's forcing it 3 wide as they're heading into 3.
Yeah, that's Brandon Chaburgo's like, ooh, look at these guys. I'm going to go right with him. Yeah, he loves that outside lane. He likes to be different. He's going to drop now back down to the middle, try to catch that draft. Not going to happen. Frank Busilia leading that 3 wide charge now. But look at that inside lane. Really come back. And now look at Wofford going to the outside with the 98 of Greg Hooks in that Napa machine. What a great move by those guys. Got a really good run on Chris Bassini. They jump immediately to that outside, and they're going to battle for the lead here momentarily if they can get through the corner right now. Awfully close right there. Coming off turn 2, though. Here they come. They're going to try to get that lead away from Rod Flag.
3 wide. Here we come down the backstretch. We got Rod Flag, Tommy Hall, and Greg Hooks to the outside. I don't know. It's a drag race. They're side by side by side.
Does it get any better than that right there? 2, almost 3 rows deep. It is 3 rows deep of 3 wide. Just some amazing action right there that we got going on here early on in Daytona. Coming to the stripe, though, looks like Tommy Hall's going to lead this lap right there. Not by much, so Rod Flag hanging tough on the outside. That top side kind of fell back a little bit there
Oh,
as they went into turn number 3, but still you got Greg Hooks and Rodney Wofford on the outside right now, still trying to make something happen. They do off turn number 2, get a pretty decent run. They make some contact there off turn number 2. That looks like the 89 of Matt Quick is pushed out of line. Now he stays to the bottom right there, let everybody kind of go by, but tough break for him right there. But it just seems, for some reason, and I don't know if it's the 2 tires or no tires, but something just doesn't seem right coming off these corners. These guys just making, it almost seems like the middle line just doesn't have any grip when they're 3 wide.
Yeah, I'm not real sure there. Going into turn 1 that last time, Andy, there may have been a hair in between that 26 and that 4 of Tommy Hall, but he barely got in front of him. I thought we were going to see the biggest one that we've seen here on the truck tour there for a second, because he just came right down as the 87 now drops off. We're just, that bumping is just getting a little dicey there on the backstretch. That's where we've seen it mostly coming off of turn 2. So there might be some type of headwind, maybe, Andy. I don't know, but it seems to be always right about there on the backstretch.
Yeah, there's something going on fishy there. We'll have to keep an eye on it, see if it happens again this next time by here. As they come to the stripe, the middle lane right now with the advantage as Altmans gets that lap led right now. But here comes Greg Hooks now to the outside. Wofford giving him a huge push as they head into turn number 1. Not going to have anybody clear. Still 3 wide for the lead here at Daytona. 31. That's the lap we're working on right now. We're halfway through this race. I hate to do it, but I think we need to go through our iRacing.com full field rundown here. So we just crossed the halfway point of the race. Still 3 wide action going on right now. A little bit of rubbing. The cars they're smoking. I'm afraid to do it, but we might as well do it and get out of the way. Right,
there's going to be a caution, you know it.
I know it's going to happen. As they come to the stripe this time right now, the 98, Greg Hooks, is your leader. Running second right now.
Oh, I told you. Oh, Tommy Hall bangs off the inside wall. Actually, no caution.
And we stay green, only 1 truck involved. That was a heavy hit right there for Tommy Hall into that inside wall. Man, that was unbelievable right there. I don't know. Should we dare go through it?
I don't know. As soon as we started, it was like, oh, crash.
The only problem is once we get down to 10th, it's going to be all changed anyway. So, unbelievable. Anyway, we got some great races. We'll focus on that for now. Maybe if we get a caution, we'll run you through the field right now. But I'm loving that 98 truck, though. He's doing a great job here tonight. Got himself all the way up from the 17th spot to lead this thing. So he's definitely over strategy and good racing on the racetrack has gotten himself up to lead. But that 7 truck, we talk about it all the time when we're at these plates. Look at him dive right into the front of 98 of Greg Hooks right there. Wofford to the lead. That's a guy we always talk about. So strong, doesn't matter what car we're in at the Super Speedway.
Yeah, and he took over that lead, but you guys just got to take a look a second ago at that 4 of Tommy Hall bouncing off that inside wall super hard. But somehow that truck was able to survive, and he was able to get back going again. Hopefully he'll be able to use that reset. But you're right. That 7, I swear, I thought there was going to be another big one, Andy. I was just like, oh, this mid-race report has definitely jinxed us for sure. But he was able to hold on to it. I think the 98 let off a little bit probably just to not cause the big one. But that 17 of Matt Bontemi's got a good run on the outside, pushed by Brandon Chaburko. Now taking it 3 wide. 3 wide there. Brandon Chaburko's like, all right, you got me there close enough. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, exactly. That's... oh, man. Forced his way through there to get that position away. It drops the 17 back. A couple spots he's able to get back on that high side. 3rd in line there on the high side. But there you go. You got the 3 now to the outside. He's got a little bit of help right now from that Texaco Havoline machine. I can't quite read the number there. It's a little far away for me. But that, that looks like the Figlin in the 38. Yes, that's who it is right now. Giving a decent push right now to Chaburko. Chaburko's one of those guys we talk about all the time. Me and Evan do usually in the Cup races. He loves that side draft, and you'll see him through the corners get real close to the cars on the inside. And I'll tell you what, the side draft, it works. But, man, you got to have a lot of patience, and you got to have a lot of faith in those guys to your inside.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's 2 of the best in iSuper Speedway, Roddcar, Truck Tour, whatever you want to say. combined has the most wins out of everybody. Both of them have more wins than the entire rest of the league together. So those are two of the best. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. There's a caution. The 3, the 7, the 1, the 8, the 21. The one's over on his roof. Oh man, there's the big one, just as we were talking about him. And even if they're still the best, they still wreck, Andy.
That just you know what? Honestly, it's just wrecks are not the best thing because it takes out so many cars or trucks here when you're at these tracks. But man, they are some exciting things when they do happen. And Chaburko right there, just out of shape, a little bit of help up into the wall, and then of course nowhere to go, comes down in front of everybody. The one of Chris Passini on his lid, sliding down the front stretch. And then even after that little bit of trouble there, Chaburko, as he was trying to come to a stop, gets hit by another truck also. So I think if you haven't used your reset yet, Josh, I'm pretty sure you're going to be using it this time.
Yeah, there was a second pack back there, and even that second pack, people got into it from there. And with this new new model of racing, the smoke screen is so much worse than it used to be. Yeah, the particles are just crazy now, and you can't see through that. I was in a race a couple of weeks ago, and literally I could not see through the smoke screen going down the backstretch, and it was just crazy just how much harder it is to make it through these things unscathed. And there was a lot of trucks caught up in that, and and the 41 kind of dumped the one up onto his roof there. Everybody's getting the coming down to get their pit stops underway. This might be close enough to the end where we're not going to have to worry about another one. We got about 23 laps to go. Probably about 20 to go once they get to the green flag. So they probably should be good from here, Andy.
Yeah, it'll be good for fuel-wise anyway, and I don't think you'll see anybody really, it's not a mile and a half. The tires aren't going to make that big of a deal, so I'm pretty sure where these guys sit right now is probably where they're going to stay. I don't think you'll see pit road that busy unless somebody has some damage, in the next 20 or so laps here. Donnie Giratano, so deciding to stay out there. So obviously he's got to be good on fuel if he decided to stay out right here at this point, working lap number 37. We'll do that as soon as they cross the line here. We get everybody situated. We'll do a full field rundown of where they sit right now, getting ready for that final 20-lap sprint to the finish here, which could get pretty exciting, seeing what we've seen already here tonight. You can see that 22 truck saving fuel down on the apron. A bunch of guys actually right now on the apron right now, probably shutting that thing off, letting it coast as long as they can, turning it back on, saving as much fuel as they can. Don't want to run out of fuel, especially here at Daytona.
Nope.
It's the worst feeling, isn't it? Especially if you just cross the start-finish line and the thing runs out.
It's terrible. I mean, you got so far to go, and most of these guys have the electronics to see, hey, you got 0.2 laps to go, with fuel left. You're not going to be out there like, oh, I got it, 0.2 laps, yeah, I can totally make it around, Andy, But at this point in the race, I don't think you really have to worry about fuel if you just pitted. But one person that might have to, or a couple people that might have to, is Donnie Giratano. He stayed out on that restart, on that caution flag right here. As we're going to go ahead and go through a 2/3 race, mid-race report, brought to you by LSRTV tonight. And sitting at the point right now, Donnie Giratano stayed out that last caution there. Stephanie Lessentine as well, P2. Ray Rittenauer sits third. Matt Quick and Rodney Waffer round out your top 5.
6th right now is the 17 of Matt Bontempi. Jason Altman sits 7th. 8th is Greg Hooks. 9th goes to Frank Busilia. And 10th is James Pileski.
Kent Connolly still running strong tonight. Good spot, P11. Glenn Hendrick in that 21 truck sits 12th. Corey Henry, Jeff Fagelin, and number 26, Rod Flagg, rounds out top 15.
That 16th position is held by the number 1 of Chris Passini. Christian Peterson, I haven't talked much about him all night in the 71. He sits 17th, 18th is his teammate Seth the Merchant. Daniel Ferguson runs 19th, and 20th is Casey Malone.
Season 1 defending champion back in 20. First right now, Josh Hanner playing a little pit strategy early on. Isn't really paying out right now, sitting P21. Ryan Pylan, 22nd. Larry Camp, Ron Thompson, Shane McKeechin, unfortunately, with those last couple of incidents, is running P25.
First car a lap down right now, and it's only one lap down, is the 8 of Dana Osborne. Tommy Hall, who we saw hit that inside wall just a few laps before the caution right now, sits 26th, 27th, and they switched spots on me. Geez, look at that. Tommy Hall is 26th, 27th is Dana Osborne. Brendan Chaburko, 2 laps down on that big wreck he just had. Right there is in the 28th spot, and of course Derek Walker, we talked about earlier on, is in that 29th spot. The lights are out on the pace car as we just did our full field rundown, sponsored by iRacing.com, your worldwide leader in motorsports simulation. Check them out at iRacing.com. Sign up, get involved, join a league just like this right here, and get in on all the action. Donnie Giarratano, though, continues to lead. He will lead the field back to the green flag, as we had mentioned. Stephanie Lessentine got her track position, Josh. She's up there. Now she's just got to stay there.
Yeah, unfortunately, no teammates around her, though, as Hanner and Flag are a little bit further back in the field, so she might have to do it on her own. You got teammates sitting there on row number 2, though. Ray Rittenauer and Matt Quick, they might be able to get together and get up front. It'd be a good showing for both of those guys. Both did very good last season truck tour for Rittenauer, Matt Quick, P6, sorry, in the iSuper Speedway points, just missed the chase. But good try again later tonight. But here we're getting ready to go as the pace car ducks off.
Ducks off, and the green flag goes out to Donnie Giarratano. He's got the early advantage here on the restart. Stephanie Lessentine on the outside. A little bit of a gap between her and Ray, or excuse me, not Ray Rittenauer, Matt Quick on the outside. Ray Rittenauer is in the 87 on the inside lane right there behind the 2. Still 2x2 throughout the field right now. A little 3-wide action back with Casey Malone. That's way back in about the 15th, 16th position right now. They settle that out now. Still 2 wide all throughout this field right now as they all catch up to speed. Look how close they get on the back straightaway right there. Really trying to get that side draft going or something right there, but it almost seems like they're a magnet as they go down these straightaways. Off of turn number 4, here they come, Donnie Giarratano. He's got the lead, but here comes Lessentine on that outside with the help of Quick. It looks like she's going to get it. She does by 14/100ths of a second right there at the stripe. That's where you want to be when it comes to the victory. That's all you need right there is to win the race, is to just be out by a nose. The bottom side always has the advantage throughout the corner, though. It seems on the straightaways, though, that's where the top side really comes into form. That's where the speed and the momentum they carry as they turn off and down the banking coming off the corners. That's where they have the advantage. Stephanie Lessentine continuing on that outside. Just can't quite get the 2 clear. Does she really want to get the 2 clear, or is that outside lane really the place to be, Josh?
I think that outside is probably the place to be. We've seen a lot of guys. Outside, everybody's up there. More cars on the outside, trucks. The last couple of runs than even the inside. Even the 3 wide had more point than the bottom and the middle. So I think that they're trying to work in that outside group. I expect to see more 3 wide here shortly. We got about 18 laps to go. Everybody's putting it all out there now. There's no holding back anymore. It's green to the end. Hopefully, we might get some exciting racing, but it's definitely full throttle from here on out.
Absolutely. There's no time to waste right now as we work lap number 42. This time by, be 18 laps left to go here at Daytona in the season opener. It's winding down pretty quick for the first race of the season. We got some slicing and dicing going on around that 10th spot right now. Looks like the 38 of Jeff Figlin. He's actually 13th right now. He's already poked his head to the outside. He's got Chris Bassini on his rear bumper. His Hanner now looks to the inside, 3 wide.
Yeah, those 2 teammates, Big City, Dark Horse Motorsports now this season to the outside, Figlin and Bassini. Didn't go anywhere, unfortunately, though. That outside wasn't getting enough done there, as the second groove now starts to bunch back together. 93 there of James Pileski, the 21 of Hedrick closing back in, as Garretttown, that bottom's actually holding pretty strong this run, Andy. The 2 has been out front. Oh, here we go. There it is. Another wreck. 2, 3. Oh, there it is. Ron flag up and over. Oh, big wreck.
Unbelievable right there. Wow. I'm going to try to get a replay up and maybe watch a little replay from the front bumper of the 26 of Rod Flag, because that was definitely not what he wanted to see right there, but some contact made on the front straightaway. Coming into the tri-oval right there, it looked like Jason Altman's was involved in the 97 and a couple other trucks. We'll have to check them out on the replay, but man, what a huge wreck. And that's probably the worst wreck you can have, is once you start spinning, then you start going back up into traffic. That's when it really hurts.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that I Super Speedway Season 5 champion there, Seth the Merchant, almost pulled an Austin Dillon there on the front stretch, Andy. He was up almost into the catch fence on his roof, and he's lucky to pull away from that. As you'll see the replay going up, you'll ride along with the 32 of Seth the Merchant, as he really didn't have anywhere to go. That number 94 of Frank Busiala coming across the track gets Rod Flag, and 32 is like, oh, me? Oh, up into the wall and over. Luckily, he's didn't go into the fence too hard, and he was at least able to drive off, but he's got some heavy damage there. Probably going to have to use that reset, if not already has used it. He may be done for the end of the night, but currently he's still driving around, and if you see his car right now, I don't know what picture we're looking at, but we're looking at him now, and it looks like he's about to do a drag race here, and the front end's up in the air, his back end's all the way down. Might be good for drafting if he had a full motor.
Unbelievable. Some of the things you see with these, the damage that comes out on the model here in the sim is just absolutely amazing. But yeah, that truck is somewhat beat up just a little bit, I think.
Yeah, that front end's about 6 inches at least off the ground there, and riding on board.
That'll definitely destroy your speed at a plate track.
Oh yeah, he's got that wheel cranked to the left, so I'm pretty sure he's turning like 90 degrees just to hold it going straight down the straightaway. But hopefully Seth the Merchant will now come down here and get quick fixed. Actually, yes, it looks like he is. So hopefully he has one left. Get it down to 60 miles an hour here. Hopefully doesn't get a penalty as well. He'll be able to get that quick fix. Hopefully get back out there, as Donnie Garrettano still leads them here under the caution at lap number 46.
Yeah, the tough break, though, with the sim, with only one reset, usually when you damage your motor or you knock your toe out like he did, the truck may look all right with the reset, but sometimes the steering doesn't always fix itself. So we'll have to keep an eye on Seth the Merchant there, but definitely not the start to the season the Cup champ wanted here tonight. We'll see what he can do. He's always got later on with the shootout. Maybe he can try to back up his championship with a win tonight in the shootout. That all coming up here in just about 45 minutes or so. This race here taking quite a bit of time, more than normal, I would say. We've had a few cautions here tonight. We got plenty of time, though. It doesn't look like we're going to run out of time as far as the event itself. So plenty of time for these guys to, some of these guys that are maybe mid-pack right now, the race isn't over yet. They still got plenty of time to work their way up through the field here, barring another caution, another accident that could really push them up closer towards the front. 15 laps to go here right now. When they cross the line, though, 14 laps will be on the board left to run here. That gets us down to the critical time, too, also, that once we hit that about 5 or 4 lap to go mark, a caution would definitely end this race here this evening. We'll probably have about 11 or 10 laps to go. We're going to step aside, a quick little break. You're watching the Roddcar Truck Tour, season number 2, the season opener here at Daytona, right here on LSRTV and iRacing Live. We're back here at Daytona, the Roddcar Truck Tour, season number 2, season opener, right here on LSRTV iRacing Live. And right now, Donnie Giordano leads the field. Stephanie Lesning is going to restart to his outside. The top 4, Josh, you just mentioned a moment ago, have not won a feature race in the Truck Series or in the iSuper Speedway Series. So a pretty cool thing here tonight if we could see one of these top 4 drivers currently on the grid right now come home with the win. Pace car now going to hit pit road, get into safety. That's the one car without a scratch on it tonight. Green flag now back in the air. Donnie Giordano leading the field once again to the green flag. Stephanie Lesting, no help currently right now. She's waiting for Matt Quick to get up to her back bumper, give her a little bit of help as they race side by side back into one.
Yeah, I'm sure the jitters are a little bit flying for a couple of those guys up there with about 10 laps to go here the next time by. You know, this could be a first win for any of those top 4. You know, they definitely want to get out there as that high side. Lesson team battling back here on the backstretch, pinching down there, getting as much suck as you can. Looks like she might nose the leads here right before 3.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to be, I think, the key to the win right there is just how they exit the corner. For Lesentine, I think that's the spot she needs to be in to get her win here in the Truck Series. Donnie Giordano, though, doing a great job on that bottom side. I mean, when you're a leader in a pack like this, especially the 2-truck, Josh, when you're on the bottom like that, I mean, there's nothing you can do. You can't move to the high side. You can't go low. You're already on the yellow line. You pretty much just have to sit where you are, hold your line, hold it right to that yellow line, and hope that guy behind you is giving you the push you need to win.
You're right, and unfortunately, you know, unless he really thinks that that outside is moving very fast, he could jump up right in front of him. But who's to say that 22 is not going to just stay to the outside and go 3 wide around him? As we've seen the outside work plenty here tonight. So you're right, he's kind of at the mercy of Ray Rittenauer and Rodney Wofford, James Pulaski behind him to see if they can actually push him to the victory as long as it stays as it is with about 9 laps to go as we take the flag right here.
That's about 10 laps to go right now as we hit the stripe right there.
Well, that's close.
We're just going to give them an extra lap, that's all. 3 wide action, though, going on back in the field. Look at that, who it is. Somebody we haven't talked about all night long, Christian Peterson, trying to make that outside lane work. He's right now on the outside of Corey Henry as they make it off of turn number 2. Almost make a little bit of contact there. Problem for Peterson, though, he's all by himself until now. It looks like Frank Busilia is going to come into the picture and maybe try to help push him up to the front. We saw Busilia actually lead an outside pack charge up to the front when they were battling 3 wide for the race lead.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what's kind of crazy. Derek Walker actually got back into this race a little while ago. He's not, anywhere near the front. He's running 30 laps down. But he is in that lead pack there in the back end. He is going to be part of the decision of this race, as it looks like now we're getting 3 wide throughout the whole field as that outside of Christian Peterson's coming up the back bumper of that 98 of Greg Hooks here off of turn 2.
Yeah, Greg Hooks decided to go up to that high side. Maybe had a little bit of help when he did that. But look at that top line, though, for Stephanie Lessening. Big trouble behind. The one of Chris Mercedes around. And he takes out about 6, 7 other trucks also involved. It all started, the one truck there heading into turn number 3. Looked like some problems for them at the stripe here, though. Looks like Stephanie Lessening is going to be your race leader. And we're going to have 8 laps to go right here as we're under caution again here at Daytona.
Yeah, it looks like, Andy, we're coming down the backstretch there, and it's not exactly the same spot, but it looks like that 33 of a Larry Camp just maybe took the air off and pushed right under the back of that one truck. As you see the replay going up, he just tagged him, and he spun right into Ryan Pilon, the 000888, the Seth the Merchant, 32 is out of this race. 20 of Derek Warrior, I just talked about after 30 laps down, getting that thing fixed up, already in an accident, unfortunately. So a couple of those guys back there already used the recess. This is going to be the end of their night, as we're probably going to come back green with, 2 or 3 laps to go, Andy. It's definitely going to come down to it. And Stephanie Lesentine sitting at the point right now, looking for her first win in the series.
You know what we need to watch on this replay, I'm not sure if we can get another look at it, is the 25 truck of Daniel Ferguson. That's really where it all happened right there. He was getting help from Jason Altman's there. There was a huge gap between them heading back into turn number 3, and you can just see the closing rate. The 97 got into the 25, into the 33, into the 1. It was just a chain reaction, but it all started with how quickly that gap closed between those drivers. So just an interesting, we've seen it all night long. Really, every wreck that we've seen has been pretty similar to that.
Yeah, and I tell you what, tonight I think it's a little bit hard to battle up back to the front. As we saw Seth the Merchant, you know, he was having some trouble, and Josh Hanner really, after being up front the whole start of the middle of the race, just now after 30-some laps has worked his way back up into the top 10. But that run on that backstretch is just ridiculous. It's crazy, and as you see Rod Fly getting the wave around for the lucky dog, you know, we're going to have about 2 or 3 laps to go, and that we were only ran a couple laps there under green, Andy, so I'm sure it's going to get to the point where that huge run's going to come again. Nobody's going to want to lift off, especially these top 4, and we might see a bigger one happen here shortly.
Yeah, like we talked about, the top 4 before that last restart had never won a iSuper Speedway Sprint Cup race or a Truck Series race, and they're still the same top 4 drivers right now currently on the field. Matt Bontempi right there in that 5th spot, though. Pretty good run for him. He's started at 20th, involved in a couple little altercations during the race, of them notably with the 3 truck Brandon Chaburko, and he's sitting there in that 5th spot, so good rebound for him. Good to see a bunch of these names up at the top of the board that we don't usually see week after week.
No, yeah, and I still think, you know, if you're sitting back anywhere from 10th on up, you know, any Greg Hooks, Figlin, Pileski, Hanner, Wofford, Bontempi, I still think they have a chance.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, here at Daytona, here at Daytona, last week we saw the winner of the iSuper Speedway race, which was myself, but I'll just say I went from 5th. I went from 5th.
You gotta pump the head up a little.
Final lap. 5th on the final lap to come around to the flag and was able to pull it off without crashing anybody. So I think, you know, the truck here, 10 deep is definitely doable for sure. Andy is. Yeah, I know I pointed myself out there. But hey,
who was that again that did that?
Oh, I won last week. That would be the Josh Ball. 48. Yes, that was me.
Oh, we got the egos pumping up here in the booth tonight.
Yeah. Hey, it's a shootout tonight. Who cares? Nothing's on the line. Just like last week, I said I'm either gonna win or go home. So.
Well, there you go. Go win and get another trophy for the mantle. That's what it's all about.
And I'm sure that's the same for these top 4. Who wants, you know, who wants the top 4 here to? What do they want a 3rd place for? You know, they want to win. They haven't ever won here in the series before. So I'm actually going to ask you. All right, Andy. We got a House of Horrors from last season.
We can't do this. I'm not jinxing anyone up front.
I want to see who you think is going to win. I am going to actually go with. Oh, you're going to Rod Flag. All right. Sorry if I pick you and you crash out or something happens to you. But I'm going to go with Donnie Garitano on the outside to pull it off here in the last couple of laps. I just think that outside is strong. It is. It's strong in the force, Andy. I don't know about you, but I think it's going to pull it off.
Listen, he's got a great opportunity being up there on the high side. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from Stephanie Lestine. She's got the bottom preferred line. I think the benefit for her, though, going through the corners, that she'll probably have the advantage, and that might possibly be where we see a caution that might end this thing. So for Stephanie, who knows? Listen, it's got to play out, right? And right now we got 5 laps to go here. It looks like they're going to double up. So 4 to go when we get the green flag. So it's only a quick little 4-lap shootout. Obviously, a caution will end this race. So honestly, for these front 2 right now, the 22 of Stephanie Lestine and the 2 of Donnie Giarratano, it's all about just holding your line and staying in that position. And, you know, if the caution falls, hopefully your nose is out in front of the other. And if it doesn't fall, hopefully you're the one that's crossing the start-finish line first. But like you said, though, I'm not jinxing anybody. I think Rod's got a great chance to win this thing.
I tell you what, you know what we haven't needed tonight, Andy, is the new Truck Series rule in real NASCAR. that 20 minutes per caution, and that's definitely not happening tonight. We've had a caution every couple of laps, but we still got we got about 17 trucks up there that are probably going to vie for the win, maybe 18 if I look at it a little bit closer. A couple of these guys definitely still have a chance, so we put on some good racing tonight. Those cautions, red cautions pretty much. Everybody starts bundling up, so let's get ready to get back to green. It's on from here, just like you said. Next flag is basically it. Unless they can make it to the white flag without wrecking, they'll have one more lap if they can make it to that. But next one really is the end.
That it is. And will we see 2 wide to the finish, or will we see 3 wide? Only time will tell. I got somebody
wide,
whispering
Andy,
to me
wide.
4 wide, but I hope not. So anyway, pace car now gonna look to the safety of pit road, and there it goes. The field is now a green flag to Stephanie Lessentine. She leads the field now to the hopefully the finish of this race. Oh, we got trouble behind her.
There it is.
Trouble. The
It's
21's
over.
around. The 98. It looks like the
Lessentine to
22
the victory.
will have it, because I don't think we're going to get this back racing here, Josh.
No, somebody just pulled a Kevin Harvick right there, and Dale Earnhardt there on the high side just didn't get it done. It looks like we're coming to the green. Everybody was just trying to vie for position as much as possible, and that 71 at Peterson really had a closing rate on that 98 of Greg Hooks, and tried to go down a little bit to make it 3 wide with him and Glenn Hendrick. And there's just no room. There was no room there at all. I don't know really what he was thinking. And unfortunately, that's going to put an end to everybody's night early, and not even barely 100 miles an hour. They weren't even barely going that.
Nope, still grinding through the gears, probably just getting into 3rd gear when all that happened. And you know what? Honestly, it could have been somebody missing a shift right there that caused everybody to check up. So unfortunate right there that we won't see in the season opener a green flag finish. But we will see a first-time winner as long as she doesn't run out of fuel. We know she was cutting it close with Stephanie Lessentine right now sitting in the catbird seat with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, and I didn't jinx Donnie. He did not wreck, so luckily
There
we
wasn't
don't have
any
to worry
racing
about-
for him to wreck.
Yeah, and the curse did strike. I did not call the winner, but that's okay. He did not wreck out. We definitely did talk to Stephanie Lessentine tonight, so we interviewed her during the race. Yeah, she didn't crash out, Andy. So I guess the streak is good.
You know
now.
what the jinx is then? It's not the jinx, it's Evan jinx.
Or is it Evan Pasoko?
That's exactly what it is. Evan's not here tonight, so the jinx was not around. So we'll have to mention that to him later on when we see him again, maybe Monday night. But a great job, pace car field finally catching up to the pace car here up in turn number 1. 2 laps to go on the board. Stephanie Leste looks like she's on the apron saving fuel there, Josh. Is it going to be that close or what?
I don't know. I'm looking at her mile per hour right now in the telemetry, and she's holding pretty steady around 78, 79 miles an hour. Caution speed is 80 miles an hour behind the pace car. Run a bit slower on the bottom of the track. If she's that close, I'd be really surprised. I would have went in that last caution, not the last one, but the one before that, if she was that close. So she's keeping up right now pretty good with the pace car. I don't think it's going to be totally an issue. You know who I really think is close is that 2 of Donnie Garitano. He's been out there way longer than the 22 of Lessentine. So it's definitely it's definitely a story, but I think it's going to be okay. I think the 22 is going to pull it off. Donnie Garitano is going to finish 2nd, Matt Quick in 3rd, and Rittenauer ran out the top 4. All those guys had a chance, Andy, but those guys in the back didn't give them a chance.
No, they didn't. But, hey, the opportunity was there. And to win one of these races, you got to be up there at the end of it to give yourself that opportunity. And for those 4 drivers that haven't won a feature race here at iSuperspeedway or Roddcar, this was their opportunity, and they were there at the end. So it was a good job by all 4 of those trucks right there tonight. But as the white flag is being waved right now for Stephanie Lessentine, she's only got 2.5 miles to record her first ever Roddcar Truck Tour victory. And that's a pretty cool feat when you talk about this series or even the iSuper Speedway series. The amount of cars and amount of talent that's in these fields week after week after week. These wins, I mean, when you look at guys like Wofford and Chaburko and, the guys that have been around a long time and do have a lot of wins, and even Peterson and DeMerchant, how they've come over the last couple seasons here, starting to stack up the wins. It's not easy to win these races, honestly. There's just so much competition in this league, so it's pretty cool. I'm sure she'll be celebrating, and hopefully it carries over for her tonight in the shootout.
Yeah, and good luck to everybody else out there tonight. We got up next, just so you guys know, before we get the checker flag and do some driver interviews, we got the iSuper Speedway Shootout Open, which will be about 20-lap race. See who gets into the feature race of tonight, the iSuper Speedway Shootout, which is the 80-lap event. And I'm not really sure if you're going to see the Open televised, but it sounds like we're getting from the production booth. We are going to see it, so we'll be here live for that here in the next less than 30 minutes now, Andy, and definitely be able to see them into the Cup cars, where it's a little bit more dicey. You don't get as much three-wide as you do here in the trucks, but should be a good run later on anyway.
It absolutely should, but here she is for the final time off of turn number 4, following the pace car under caution. Stephanie Lessentine will pick up her first career Roddcar Truck Tour victory, and we will speak to her and the rest of the top 3 in just a moment right here on LSRTV and iRacing Live. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. The conclusion of the season opener for the Roddcar Truck Tour season number 2 had just concluded, and we have a first-time winner ever here at the iSuper Speedway Series or the Roddcar Truck Tour. Stephanie Lessentine, of course, heading her way down to victory lane. But first, we're going to send it down to the pit lane where it looks like Josh is caught up with our third and second place finisher, Matt Quick and Donnie Giratano.
Yeah, we got Matt Quick down here with me, and P3 tonight, and that's a pretty good run for you. And top 3 for the first time in season 2, this first race of the night. So definitely a good start for you.
Oh, dude, this is the best finish I've ever had. I finished 4th, 5th a bunch of times, but this is the first time I get to talk.
Definitely pretty excited for you there, Matt. Season 2 brought a couple different things out here tonight. So tell me about your race, how everything went.
Well, it was pretty crazy. As we all know, the iRacing server is a little hairy right now, it seems like. There's a lot of flashing and stuff like that. So I started out in the back, and I decided that I was going to do the opposite of everybody else was doing. So if everybody stayed out, I pitted. If everybody pitted, I stayed out, and that worked out perfect. So we worked out from the back to the front twice. I got knocked out in the middle of the run. I don't know. I kind of got pushed to the apron, and then I had to hit the brake going into turn 3, so I dropped way back there. But if it wasn't for Ray Rittenhauer picking me up again, I might have been a lap down. So this never would have happened without him.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if I can say your team name here on the broadcast. We'll just say Dingleberry Motorsports, as I'm not real sure if that's approval or not. We'll see if I get bleeped out later. But you and your teammate Rittenauer there did a pretty good job tonight. Definitely great run for you guys. You know, we saw Rittenauer up there at the end of last season for the standings. So you think you guys have put it together this season? Hopefully get up there and challenge for the championship.
Well, with season 2 here, with the big rule change, is it's fixed setups. We are not that bright making setups, so everybody's fair right now. So it's a fair playing field. I think we can't ask any better for a top 5 for both of us. So we're gonna be hanging in there this year.
Well, good job again tonight, Matt. And you have any sponsors, shout outs, and anybody you'd like to thank?
Well, I want to tell Laura Lawson out there, she's listening. We're thinking about you, and hang in there. I want to thank Kent Conley. He's actually my driver charter thing this year. This is a new thing this year where we had to find a charter, and in our team we didn't have enough people, so I had to go find somebody outside. So thank you, Kent, for picking me up. I got to thank the whole thing at Dingleberry Motorsports. We just hung in there all night long. I mean, we probably shouldn't have been up there, but hey, we made it. And thanks, Ray. I couldn't have done this without you.
All right, that's Matt Quick there in the number 89 truck, finishing P3 tonight. Now I'm down here with second place finisher as well here, Donnie Garitano. It's a great finish for you, best I've seen in a while. It definitely was able to get it done tonight. How was the truck tonight, Donnie?
Oh, it was good. It was good. I got caught up early on in trouble there, in a wreck. But after we got through that, got the truck fixed, we come back out and stayed pretty much up in the front.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of cautions out there tonight. You know, a lot of people bumping and banging. I don't know if you really noticed. It seemed like there was a lot of I don't know, a lot of big runs on the backstretch, I guess you could say, and a lot of people. That's where a lot of the wrecks came from. Did you see that any yourself, or is it just something that we were kind of seeing in the booth because we were so far away we couldn't really see what was happening?
Yeah, I started out in the middle of the pack and I kind of seen it early on, so I kind of decided to drop back, but that didn't help. I still got caught up. But once we got to the front there, it was pretty good. We were sitting in first place, and Stephanie and Matt, they had a good run on the outside there. She took over first. It was a good race. Want to thank them guys up front, Ray, Stephanie, Matt. Good racing.
Yeah, definitely a good race tonight, Donnie. Unfortunately, I picked you to win, and fortunately, it didn't happen. You kind of got Dale Jr. there by Kevin Harvick in the back of the pack. Not really sure what happened, but come home P2 tonight. Great finish again, Donnie. Anybody else you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Laura Lawson. We're praying for her. And I'd like to thank Rod and thank you guys for what you do. It's a good time.
All right, that was Donnie Garitano, P2 tonight in the number 2 Chevrolet. I think Andy is down there caught up with our winner tonight, Stephanie Lessentine.
Yeah, it's not often that I'm down here in Victory Lane getting sprayed by Gatorade and beer, but tonight I'll take it. Stephanie Lessentine, her first win in the Roddcar Truck Tour. Stephanie, this has got to feel pretty good.
Yes, that Gatorade does taste great, doesn't it?
That it does. We know last season it just seemed like the bad breaks came one after another, week after week for you, and we know you had fast trucks at a bunch of those tracks last season with opportunities to win or get really, really good finishes, but the luck just seemed to run out week after week. And to start off the season, you know, with a great qualifying effort in the top 10 and then to come home with the win, you raced up front all night long. Was that the key to it? Was just to be up front and stay out of the mess?
Well, it was twofold. I wanted to stay up front, but then there was a mid-race caution where things got a little hectic and I got out of the way real quick. I feel like going back to the back was the safe call. So really, it was twofold. I wanted to be up, I wanted to stay up front, but at the same time, I wanted to not be in the middle of that carnage that looked like it was going to develop.
Yeah, there were some times they were racing for the lead. We had 3 rows of 3 wide. I mean, that was pretty chaotic up there in the front. And that one caution we talked to you under the caution, and where you took 4, you restarted in that 13th spot. Obviously, at a track like this, to make up the spots, it's fairly easy compared to some other tracks that we go to. Getting back up to the front, obviously, once you got up there into that top 4 area and you were on that outside lane, was that pretty much where you were going to stay?
Yeah, for the most part, once I saw how the race was going to go, and I got back up there, I was like, okay, I'm going to stay up here. And a little information: I had no spotter that whole entire race. Did not get any calls, so I was pretty much driving blind with any spotter calls. But yeah, once I got back to the top, outside racing alongside Donnie, I was like, I don't care what happens now. I'm staying up here. I'm not dropping back. We can get wrecked. I got a sympathy reset remaining, so it paid off. I think I passed him just as that caution came out, before the caution that ended the race. So
Yeah, that was perfect timing for yourself, and obviously, it's a lot of people. You want to win them under the green flag, racing back to the line. But obviously, this one here, you'll take it as you get that first win, that monkey off your back per se, and then now you can set your sights now on the season, and obviously a good points finish, a good win. That's a great way to start the season. But first win, sponsor shout outs. Who helps you get it done?
well, I want to give a big shout out to JR Motorsports and Josh Hanner giving me this opportunity, bringing me over as his charter. I also want to give a thanks to LSRTV for doing this. I think Laura's watching. Thoughts and prayers with you, girl. Stay strong. You can do it. You can beat it.
Absolutely, and I'm sure we can speak for everybody here at Roddcar Truck Tour with that one said. Well, Stephanie, congratulations on the first win of your Roddcar Truck Tour career, and hopefully you keep the momentum going heading on to next week.
Thank you, Andy.
There you have it, tonight's race winner, a first-time winner here in the Roddcar Truck Tour. And Josh, it was a kind of an interesting race with the draft package and the way things turned out. I don't know. Maybe it'll filter into the shootout here that we'll see in about 20 minutes or so here as these qualifying races get ready to get set. So moving on, we'll get this one over with here quickly here. But moving on, I think that was a great start to season 2 of the trucks.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Daytona is definitely always an interesting track to go to. Obviously, we'll be there later tonight as iSuperspeedway only races at Daytona and Talladega. It's something different for the trucks. Usually we're at those intermediate tracks, or we got a couple of short tracks in there this season. So it's definitely a great opening race for the season. Everybody's always at Daytona, the World Center of Motorsports. So great race tonight. Got a new winner. I'm sure Evan next week will hopefully be able to go with his back-to-back race win. So maybe Stephanie can go back-to-back. But I'm sure she's definitely happy with her result tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure she will be living this one up all the way into next week's race. Well, with that said, we're going to let you go because we'll be right back here on the air and again in another 20 minutes or so. But for the first race of the season number 2 for the Roddcar Truck Tour, Stephanie Lessentine comes home as your winner. For everybody here at LSRTV, for Josh Ball, I'm Andy Kessler. For Cisco Scaramuza in the production van, we all want to wish Laura the best of luck as she continues to fight her battle. We'll see you all in a little bit. For now, we'll see you.